The concept of gender has become increasingly complicated in recent years. Some people identify as a gender different from their biology, and in some cases identify as non-binary. Then there are people born with characteristics of both genders. As Connecting Point's Cristina Quinn tells us, there's a growing debate about how much control that they should have about their ultimate identity.
Here in the suburbs of Boston, Tatenda Ngwaru enjoys something she can no longer find in her home country of Zimbabwe, a sense of safety.
Some people try to burn down my father's house and kill all of us. And this was done just because of me, because I have a big mouth.
And because she has a somewhat rare genetic makeup. She's among an estimated 1 in every 2,000 people born intersex.
I was raised for a little more than 10 years as a boy because when I was born, I had an oversized clitoris that the doctors mistook for a penis.
There are many variations to being intersex. In Ngwaru's case, when she was 10, doctors discovered she had ovaries. But in her small town, going from son to daughter was out of the question.
It had always been treated as an abomination, as bad omen. If you read, back then they used to say we're the ones who give bad luck.
She waited until she was far away at college to live as a woman and started Zimbabwe's first intersex advocacy organization.
I thought, if I'm feeling this much pain and somebody is feeling that much pain, we definitely have to do something about it.
She was attacked, her office raided, and her family threatened. So she fled for the U.S., seeking asylum from gender persecution. And she thought things would be different here. After all, gender fluidity has hit the mainstream.
Can't imagine you with a man.
Well, you should, because I'm seeing one.
And they are promoting, transgender lives on their TV shows. Clearly, they must know about intersex.
But what happened?
I had a rude awakening. Nobody seemed to know what intersex is. And in America, what was more shocking for me are the surgeries that are being done on infants.
It's common for intersex babies to undergo procedures to make their anatomy look more traditionally male or female. But Ngwaru argues that decision should be left to the individual when they're old enough to consent. But others say it's not so simple.
So if you're really talking about ambiguity, we feel like it's better to make them look like other children in their gender.
Jack Elder, chief of pediatric urology at Massachusetts General Hospital, says the goal is to provide parents with information and suggests counseling. Still, he says, there's often uncertainty.
But you've got to make a decision at some point because at puberty it's going to create issues, and again, the surgery is a lot more involved.
Tatenda Ngwaru says having to pretend she was a boy for so long is still hard to think about. And although she faced persecution in her country, she's grateful surgery during infancy was never an option, and she could ultimately choose her gender. One day, she hopes to have a baby.